This is the Cubic Cuber, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to be sub 10 on pyraminx. Okay, so this is going to be my tutorial on how to get sub 10 on pyraminx, like you heard in the intro. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. So the first thing you're going to need to know is hardware. So you're going to need to get a pretty good pyraminx. I advise you get something like Moyu Magnetic, or a Chi, or a normal Moyu. Not an X-Man Bell, because I think those would be really terrible for beginners because they're really fast and the magnets are really strong, and it could definitely be seriously overwhelming. So I don't think you should get an X-Man Bell. They're okay pyraminxes. I personally prefer the Moyu Magnetic, as that's why it's my main. But it's definitely very preferential. I don't even think that's a word. As to if you like the X-Man Bell or Moyu Magnetic more. And if you're a beginner trying to get sub 10, then I would say that you should definitely look into something that is really, I'd say you can get a lot of things, just because if you haven't been doing pyraminx for a very long time and you haven't really developed your own turning style or anything, then you're probably going to just be able to use anything to get sub 10, but once you're past sub 10, you're going to start developing a turning style and starting to prefer different speeds and turning and stuff. So you can basically get whatever you want. I advise a Chi or a Moyu because they're not too fast, they're pretty stable, and they're just good for beginners, I'd say. Anyway, yeah, so that's hardware. It's actually a very important tip, but not as important as the next one, which is method. So there's, as you may know, there are two types of methods in pyraminx. There's top first methods and V first methods. And so V first methods is when you get V like this and solve the rest in an algorithm or a few algorithms. And so that's what V first is. It's a V, which is a layer except for one piece, so like this. And then there's top first, which is the same thing, except instead of getting a layer, you're getting just this top part. So this will all be scrambled, but this will be solved, and then you solve the rest in an algorithm or a few algorithms. And so it's a very good method. They're both very good, very fast. pyraminxers use all of them. I know for a fact that Benjamin Kyle, he uses L4E, and DG Cubes, or Daniel Goodman, uses he uses intuitive L4E, which is what I'm learning, and I'm almost done learning it. But yeah, so just choose a good method. And a good way to decide if you like top first or V first more is right now scramble up a pyraminx, grab one, scramble it up. You can pause this video now if you want. And scramble it up. This is a really terrible scramble, whatever. And then just see if you can solve a layer easier and faster. See what you're more comfortable doing, is what I'm trying to say. Doing a layer or the top. And whichever one you're more comfortable doing is probably what you should do. For me, I just find a layer way more comfortable. I really can't do top first methods. I'm just really bad at them. And I do not like them at all. And so that's why I don't use them. But lots and lots of people much prefer top first. And so I think that you should just do solve and see which one you're more comfortable doing. So the third tip is extremely important, and it is practice. So practice, 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 practice. If you get good hardware and a good method, practice is all you should need to get sub 10. But if you are practicing like crazy, you've got a nice pyraminx and a pretty good method, then the next two is what you're going to have to do, and that is look ahead and block building. So block building is a very nice thing. It's basically when you're doing a layer, and say, here we go. So say you've got something like this, where you need to get this center to here to do a layer. You can't do that because it breaks these edges, and you already have them here, so that's good. So block building is when you move the edges out of the way to solve centers or something like that. It's a lot of different things. Sometimes you're solving the centers by moving like what I just said, solving centers by moving edges, or solving centers and edges. Block building is kind of just doing. Watch another video on block building. I'm really terrible at explaining it, so just go watch some other video on block building after you're done watching this. So next thing is look ahead. So while you're in inspection, let's say you're doing inspection, you have to inspect just to get sub 10. You're going to need to do more inspection later, but for now, just to get sub 10, all you're going to really need to inspect is centers and tips, and which way you need to turn them in order to get a good time. So you should be able to do your centers and tips blind after inspection. I know how some top speed solvers for 3x3, they solve they try to do inspection and do the cross blind, do the same thing for pyraminx, but except centers and tips. And I think it's a great exercise. It's probably pretty cool, and it will help your look ahead a lot. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, questions, all that stuff. And I will see you in my next video. And bye. Have a great day.